Larry Hanson has served the city of Valdosta for 42 years, 22 as the city manager. He has received numerous awards and recognitions, but the things that are not always seen are the positive effect he has had on the people around him.
Well, working with Larry Hanson has been a unique experience. First of all, I've realized that he is so knowledgeable about city policies, city governments, and so I have depended on him. I have relied on him for information that I need. I probably have actually leaned on him more than I should have in some cases, because I value his knowledge, I value his theories on different things, I value everything. Larry is just a unique individual. And because of that, and Valdosta needs to be proud of this. A lot of people are saying, oh, you know, Larry, what are we going to do without him? But Valdosta needs to be proud of the fact that Mr. Hanson's been selected to be the executive director of GMA. It's a feather in his cap. It's also a feather in the cap of Valdosta. There is, you know, we very seldom have somebody advance from South Georgia into an office in Atlanta. And so this is something that we need to be proud of as a city and a county, a community.
In 2015, my daughter had a very serious car accident where she spent about 3 months in the hospital or bedridden, 2 of that at Shands. And due to other illnesses and stuff in the family, I began to run out of leave time. Now, I'd been here 18 years at that point, so I had a good bit to start with, but it began to run out before I could come back to work. And he actually called me one day and offered to loan me some sick leave to hold us over until I could come back to work in a couple weeks. On top of that, very kindly, he also offered 3 days of vacation leave just in case I need a break. That was really thoughtful. But through the next couple of weeks, he actually maintained personal contact with me, sometimes through a text, sometimes just a call, say, hey, how's Cheyenne doing? Everything going all right? Yeah. Is there anything that the city can do or that I can do to help? It was refreshing. It was very different than what I'd experienced at other employment.
It's kind of bittersweet situation, but Larry has did a tremendous job for the city, very knowledgeable, very skillful, and he a great communicator, and he bring individuals together when there's difference. So he has done a great job, and we really appreciate Larry. And I don't think many people may not appreciate him as much as I do, because I was there in the beginning, and I'm very proud of sticking my chest out and say I was one of them.
When my wife passed away, him and the mayor and all that was there to the funeral. Mr. Christian must have brought him along, must have told him good, because I tell you what, he's been a good boss man.
Back on July 8th of 2016, I had been shot multiple times by a gunman. I was in the hospital, getting ready to go back to surgery. My wife was distraught. I was trying to come to terms with what had happened. My son-in-law was out in F.E. Warren, out in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He was stationed out there. He's security forces in the military out there. And of course, my daughter and my grandson were out there. And she was attempting to figure out ways to bring the family back home because they weren't sure of my status. They didn't know how serious my injuries were. And when Mr. Hanson arrived up there to the hospital, he actually accompanied my wife, held her hand, and walked all the way back as she was walking beside me as I was on the hospital bed as they were taking me back to surgery. He took her all the way back to the waiting room. He stayed with her the entire time. And while they were there, my son Jonathan and my wife Myra were discussing how to get my son-in-law and my family back from F.E. Warren. Mr. Hanson heard that. He immediately went into action. He actually contacted supervision and the command staff over here at Moody Air Force Base. They in turn made contact with the command staff out at F.E. Warren. Actually got the ball rolling. My son-in-law was granted emergency leave. They ended up getting airfare back and got my family back home. We're always going to hold him in high regard. He's a true leader and a very well respected man in our family. We're always going to hold him in high regard.
Just want Larry to know how much he means to me, how much our friendship means to me, and I just want him to know that I love him like a brother, and that nothing could come between our friendship, and anything that I could ever do for him, I'm there for him, and I feel like likewise that he would be there for me. So I'm gonna miss him, but I look forward to running up to Atlanta and going to some Hawks games and staying overnight with him a little bit. I have sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws that live in Atlanta, but I got a brother living in Atlanta now, which is gonna be living in Atlanta as soon as Larry moved to Atlanta.
Best wishes, Larry, on your new endeavor. We will miss you.
I appreciate all the support you've given us, the employees, and I know you do a good job up in GMA, and you're still representing Valdosta. So thanks for the years, thanks for the memories. Good luck.
Larry, I want to wish you the best in your new endeavors. It's been quite the ride, and I want to wish you the best going forward.
We're so happy for you, Larry, and congratulations.
Yes, and good luck in Atlanta.